Hey, everybody, welcome back to LWN Network Liberty Nation 2 on YouTube. You guys, it's Tammy Nation here. I am so glad and excited to be back with you guys tonight. And it's January 21st, 2026. It's good to see you guys. LW's in the back already messing things up, but that's okay. They were a little bit sassy without me the other night, but that's payback. That's called karma. But anyhow, you guys, we have a great show for you planned tonight. We have good conversation going on. We want to hear from you guys because there's some hot topics here. Lots been going on with the Clintons. That was in House Oversight Committee today. They did agree to move forward with the obstruction and the contempt of the Congress and court to show up for their subpoenas. We're going to talk about that. Trump is in Davos today. There's some stuff coming out about that. Minneapolis is going crazy. It's just not stopping there. We've got rumors that Cash and Pam Bondi are there in order to hand out indictments for those who are funding the protest there. So we'll talk about that. We've also got Ilhan Omar from there that's in deep trouble because she's got some major dollars, major money, and they're asking why. And we know Tim Walz is in trouble as well. So Minneapolis seems to be the poster child for straightening things up and getting rid of corruption. But we've got that and so much more. And we're going to be right back after this with LW.
All right, welcome back to LWN tonight. I am LW, my co-host Tammy the Hammer Nation. Tammy, so remember the last show that we did where at the end of the show it says that's a wrap and StreamYard changed things?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had technical difficulty last night, tonight. One of our producers came in and helped me do that. So when I push start, now it just takes over. I shit you not. Like it takes over and it starts playing the intro and you're making fun. You're laughing. I could see you in the backstage laughing at me. Oh, he messed up. I didn't mess up, which I do quite often. And I do admit that. But as soon as I push start, it just takes over. It plays the intro. And then I brought you in and then we replayed the intro. This is nuts. So I'll just have to reach out to producer. And I know they're in the background and they're listening. We're going to have to work on, I don't know, changing something here. It's weird. So as soon as I push go live, it just it takes over.
Wow.
And it's super annoying because I want to give you the first spotlight of coming in and doing the monologue for us. So it puts us in the right category. But as soon as I push go live, it just started the intro without me doing anything. It's annoying. It really is annoying.
Well, then I'm sorry I accused you of that. I thought you were messing around.
Well, you always accuse me all the time, Tammy, and I can't hear you. It's on your end and blah, blah, blah. And then we find out later it's always on your end. So
not always. We can never say never, and we can not say always. It's always either. We'll get ourselves into trouble. But yeah, they've been making a lot of changes. And
tonight is going to be an amazing night. Last night it was the boys. We had a great time last night. We put out a lot of information. And tonight, Tammy has brought some more stuff. We're getting copyrighted for the videos that I think we're sharing. So some of this, Tammy has produced the show again. Thank you, Tammy. But I told her right before the show that we're not going to play any of the videos tonight that she wants to share to see if we're getting copyrighted for our intro, or if we're getting copyrighted for the videos that we're playing, so we can kind of figure that out with producer. So it's just a lot of nonsense, but we'll get through it. And were you able to listen to anything for last night's show today, Tammy, while you were busy, or were you just asses and elbows all day?
Well, I was kind of that, but I did catch a little bit of the show last night, bits and pieces. I will listen to it in full, but I think you guys did a really good job, and there was some great information and I loved seeing, or actually hearing and seeing when I started it, the three of you together again. It was really great. I thought it was awesome, the parts I caught. So I'm looking forward to listening to that whole thing.
It was a good show last night. We had a lot of fun with John Estabrooks, and of course Jeff B. And here we are a day later, a dollar short as always, and so much more has already happened. Greenland is back in the news. What happened with Trump last night on the plane is in the news, and then some of the stuff that Jeff shared with us this afternoon that Trump said while he was over in where's that place?
Davos.
Huh?
Davos.
So, I mean, there's so much to talk about tonight. And I don't even know where to begin tonight. And to be honest, I'm going to give you some credit, Tammy. So you prep the shows for us. So Tammy is one of my producers, and she does a lot of the footwork for me, a lot of the research. She puts it in an email, sends it to me, makes my job super easy. But I'm going to give you some credit. Last night, I actually was a little bit lost, and I like it when you're driving the bus a little bit and I can just do my thing, because there was 2 emails and a bunch of stuff, and I did my best, but I think Tammy does a better job.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take what I can get from you, LW. I do appreciate that. And it was really funny, you guys, because I did message him and say, don't you dare listen or look through this last minute. You have to absorb it. You have to, it's in the order you need to do it, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes from calling me an old annoying sister to a granny to what a mother. He called me a mother today because
You're making me a mother hen.
Yes, and then he said, I'm making him a mother hen now. But I will tell you, to get this out of the way real quick, I want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers, your thoughts, your blessings for me and my family. I am better. I still have a cold, and you can, cough, I guess you could say. And I'm nasally and stuff, but I'm good. But my hubby still has some challenges he's facing. He was okay with me going on tonight. He is home. We've been to the ER a couple times. We've got doctor's appointments coming out. He's not out of the woods, but God bless him. He's a fighter. He's strong. So thank you guys for the prayers. They're working. He's home. He's comfortable tonight. And I love you guys for your blessings and your thoughts and your prayers. And that means the world to me. So thank you.
Yes. And I've been praying for your husband too. And let's not stop the prayers for Tammy and her family and her husband. If you guys can keep those prayers moving in their direction. Hubby is still under the weather. But I'm sure he's a fighter like me, and he's strong, and he will come out of whatever this situation is that he's in. But let's please keep the prayers rolling for Tammy and her entire family, and especially her husband, because they've been fighting this since right before Christmas. Tammy, I was telling my friends today that this started right before Christmas. You were sick during Christmas. It's just been going nonstop for you, and now we're worried about weather rolling in, and hopefully it's going to miss you guys in Georgia. But yeah, it's just a lot of prayers, and we do appreciate everything that you, the listener, and all of our mods, because we got the best mods in the business. Thank you guys for all your prayers and for keeping this stuff rolling. I was shocked today when I went through Facebook, and I'm not kidding, Tammy. Every time I scrolled, there was LWN, LWN, LWN. Everybody is sharing this out on Facebook, and all the other platforms. So thank you guys for that. And of course, always thank you for the financial support as well, because we couldn't do this without you guys. I know War Machine appreciates your financial donations, because I try to send some of that stuff to the producer if I can, and I try to take care of War Machine as well, so that they donate all their time and all of their skills to us. So they don't always get paid. I pay when I have the money and when I can. So it's much appreciated. And Tammy, I'm just going to turn things over to you and let you steer the bus. Go ahead.
Let's start with this big nasty like ice snowstorm that is supposed to hit tomorrow. That's across really Texas, Tennessee, the middle of the country, the Northeast. Now, Georgia was in that earlier. I had shown that to you, LW, that I was concerned about that, right? That they were saying it was going to be like 3 inches of ice here. They're talking about down, no power, no water, and just catastrophic, basically saying a storm to remember. The last map that I looked at, now it's moved a little further north, which is still concerning to me because, you know, I have family that's in Michigan. We've got a lot of listeners and viewers that are in Tennessee, Virginia's, all that is coming across the middle of the country, moving eastward. And I'm concerned about you because you've got traveling and stuff that you are going to be doing, and you're going to be right in the heart of it. And I said, of all the times for you traveling for work, he's going to be heading right for it. And I'm like, maybe you should switch that up a little bit.
I head right for the eye of the storm. I don't mess around.
He does it.
For everybody listening tonight, and if you listen to this later on the replay or whatever, I could use prayers too for safe travels. I'm really hoping that I don't get stuck in LAX for a couple of days because of storms. So prayers will go a long way with me as well. So I'm asking for prayers for safe travels. I'm supposed to leave Saturday morning. I'm going to be gone for, I might as well spill the beans to everybody, Tammy. Okay. I'm going to be gone for a minimum of a week to 10 days. It could turn into 2 weeks for work. So Tammy and Jeff both are going to be holding down the fort for us here. Tammy and Jeff will be doing shows as long as Tammy has power. And as long as family issues don't come up and she ends up having to take off time for that. So we appreciate Tammy and we appreciate Jeff holding down the fort while I'm gone. And they're very capable of doing this shit. I don't need to be here. So that's kind of just so you guys know the schedule. I'm leaving on Saturday. We're going to do a show tonight. We're going to try to do a show tomorrow, possibly if we can. And then I'm going to be gone. So Tammy, hopefully we'll be back Monday night with Jeff B.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been out of this seat for a while, and you know, I don't like that, but you know, sometimes that's just life. That's what happens. But anyhow, all the people that are in Tennessee, all you people that are in this path of that storm, we got prayers for you. See, Kentucky, they said 20 minutes ago, sleet, ice, and snow. And this is the problem with it because it's all sleet and ice. And that buildup is so bad for power lines, for trees, for roofs, for homes, and that's what we're concerned about.
I think Doc P said, Doc P Iowa said 60-mile-an-hour winds there right now.
Wow.
And I'm guessing Iowa because it says Iowa on the end of the name. So 60-mile-an-hour winds, and that's some crazy weather. So everybody be safe out there. Like Kathy H said, if you don't have to go out, stay home. And just as many prayers as you guys can send to Tammy and I, we would much appreciate it. I don't have a choice. I definitely have to go on this mission for work. I'm excited for it. It's a new chapter in my life. And I want to go to work. I don't want to stay home. I don't want to wait another week. I don't want to wait 2 more weeks. Like, I know it's winter time. I've worked in North Dakota. I've worked in severe weather. I just want to get there and I want to go to work. So pretty excited for that. So thank you for your prayers.
Yeah, he'll keep us updated too as well, you guys. So, and also
I'll let Tammy know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. So let's start with the hot button. One of the big things that popped today was the Clintons. Okay, so there was the House Oversight Committee today did vote to refer Bill and Hillary Clinton for a chamber-wide with the votes on criminal contempt of Congress charges. With the help, actually, there were multiple Democrats that also voted with them, as far as that, crazy as it seems, let's just say, but some of them did. Basically, so if the House does vote to refer the Clintons now for contempt, it's going to be up to the DOJ whether to prosecute them or not. But this is what my problem is. A while ago when we were talking about this, LW, the contempt of Congress conviction, it says can carry up to $100,000 fine and a year behind bars. Now, I don't think any of us are going to be satisfied with Bill and Hillary if they get the max of that. And that's what fries my buns is They're going through the process like they should, but that's what they're facing. That's ridiculous.
It's unexcusable. Now, Jeff B reached out to me this afternoon. He had some other stuff he wanted to share. I'm going to hold on to that. He had a meeting he had to go to. He's going to try to slide in here if he can. If he can't make it by the end of the show, I'll share what he shared with me this afternoon. But I don't want to spill the beans until he's got an opportunity to come in here. So, I put in the title. Who's going to be the first arrest? I still believe it's going to be Barack Obama if it goes the way I think it will go. Obviously, Bill and Hillary Clinton are very high, probably number 2, number 3 on that list for me as well. But so far, we haven't seen any kind of accountability. And again, I can't share what Jeff shared with me this afternoon because I don't want to take anything from him. So I'll wait on that. But there is some stuff supposedly in the works. I can't guarantee that. But it's just more of the same in my opinion. It's keep moving the goalposts, keep telling us what and what Jeff has to tell if he makes it here tonight. That's what I'm going to say. It's just more of, are they feeding us stuff to keep us in line? And here's the other thing is, don't forget, one of your favorites, Steve Bannon, did time for this very thing. Yeah. And why is it not good enough for the Clintons? If they don't show up, why are they not in the same boat as Steve Bannon?
And they worked with them. Don't forget, LW, they made 3 different scheduled appointments for them, and they just kind of blew it off. Now, James Comer came out and said that the Clintons' lawyers came out and made, he said, a ridiculous offer. This is the offer that the Clintons came up with their lawyers for Comer. They said that that he is to travel to New York for a conversation with President Bill Clinton only, but no official transcript is going to be recorded, and other members of Congress would be barred from participating. And that's the offer the Clintons came out with. And Comer said he rejected that offer. But what kind of cojones do these people have to think that they can say, you can have an interview with Bill Clinton, but not Hillary, and not about, nobody's going to take records or anything. So what is the point of it all? That will serve zero purpose. And my thing is, I don't understand. We've got stuff out there on Bolton and all these people, and I know there's a process to follow, but I'm just so fed up with the talking. And like you said, I feel like they've got us sitting there with bated breath, just waiting for those cuffs to be slapped on somebody, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's the legal part of it now. I get it. But, the cuffs were slapped on Bannon and Giuliani real quick. Look at Tina Peters still in jail.
Yep.
Even though she's got a presidential pardon.
I met Tina in Vegas, a couple of years ago, interviewed her. What a wonderful woman. And, it's horrible what they're doing to her right now. So I'm going to ask this question again. Jeff B has got some very interesting stuff. If he can make it, that he'll share. If not, I'll share it at the end of the show. So you have to stick with us. But here's my question to you right now, live in chat, or if you're watching the replay, you can go ahead and make us a comment. Do you think that we're going to actually see any kind of accountability in DC? Do you guys believe that the DOJ, whether it be Bondi or if she gets replaced and they bring somebody else in, do you believe that Trump is going to help push any kind of accountability, whether it be with Clintons, Obamas, Bidens, anyone else? I'm very skeptical about it. Now, I can see a path to it, and I could see things actually happen if there was some traction and somebody had the balls to do something about it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I see it. But as of right now, I am in the camp of no. I really feel like they're dangling that carrot in front of us. They're telling us the shit that they want us to hear. Midterms are around the corner, so I feel like it's going to amp up here real soon, and they're going to try to play to us, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, vote for us. And I'm just not I haven't bought in all the way. So
I
I'm
haven't.
always 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of scenario, Tammy. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we haven't seen that. I mean, Obama's still walking around having a good time. Everybody's having a good life. We're the ones that seem to be stressing out, the ones that want accountability. But I have a little nugget here that I'd like to throw as a possibility, because it's a name of someone that isn't very popular, but has a very important job. So let me go over this, and then I want to see what the audience has to say and what you have to say about it. Because yes, I think we're being told a lot of what we want to hear to keep us calm. Yet Trump knows, and his administration knows, we're fed up. Nobody's being easy on Bongino. Nobody's being easy on Pondy. Nobody's being easy on anybody. They're fed up. But there is a person, we're wondering if Pam Bondi maybe is a decoy, where it looks like she's not doing anything. Hang on.
I'm
Both
sorry.
have a cough.
I coughed too.
Yeah. Another one. So maybe Pam Bondi is really doing something. This is hopeful, not hopium. And it's not what we want her to do, but she's doing something. But there is this man named Ed Martin. Now, Ed Martin works at the U.S. Attorney's Office. And it's unique because he is the Associate Deputy Attorney at the DOJ. And he was given mandate powers and handpicked by President Trump. Mandate means contract, not law. Trump gave him these mandates and this job, and he's supposed to be like researching and digging up things about the auto pen and stuff like that. But basically, he's been very, very quiet with some things. And apparently, he's been posting on X, commenting on different people's posts about accountability. When we see it, we want handcuffs. Well, basically, his real job, supposedly, the theory is to quietly build cases against the deep state and the Dems. And that's what we're seeing now with all this stuff coming up. He also is building cases against them. And he's not very well known, but he's handpicked by Trump. Now, he also, what was it say? He was in the link that he commented on. Somebody was saying, I want a huge line of arrest. We want justice. We want accountability. And he commented that the accountability and prosecution is coming against a lot of them. And the line of these people is going to be as long as a line on Black Friday at Walmart. So now, is that hopium? Or is that him leading us down a path of what's really happening? Now, he has these mandate powers. And the thing is, he gets to work and prosecute LW, federal and local crimes, both. That's what's unique about it. So he's not a man we've talked about. I don't think that there's a lot of people that know about him or pay attention to him, but this is what's going on. And they're saying Pam is really a decoy doing some things, but not what we want, that he's actually behind the scenes doing it. So I'd like to know what you think about it and what the audience thinks about it.
Well, ask the audience the question. I mean, straight up.
Do you guys think that this Ed Martin, who was handpicked by President Trump, is really building all these cases for the last 11 months against the deep state, against all these Dems that have pulled all this bullshit all along? And he's doing it while Pam Bondi's saying, look over here, look over here. You can be mad at me. You can be mad at me. So I don't know if he worked for BlackRock or not. I didn't dig that deep into that. But, if Trump handpicked him, I'm hoping somebody that he handpicked that close to have that much power, mandate power. Because remember, Trump kept saying, I've been given a mandate from the American people.
Yep.
So
and he has, right? He has.
Yes. So I'm having some hope with this because, like I said, the more you know, the more you dig, the more you see, because it is very frustrating at this point with everything. Because if we could just hear the sound of metal handcuffs on people, like one after the other, that would be amazing. I mean, I would toast to that. But really, is that going to happen? Is that even a possibility? Because when we talk about Trump trying to take people down and clear out the deep state and drain the swamp, which we now call drain the sewer. You think about, as we cover all these shows and topics, and you guys have done your own investigating, think about the number of people that have to be in handcuffs for the crimes that they've committed over the years. We're talking thousands of people, and people worldwide. It's insane, the amount of people. So that's a lot of work to be done, but then, they're not going to give up freely. Look at the Clintons aren't even showing up. So what do we make of all this?
Well, I'm going to say this. Of course, I have to look through all lenses. I love, God, how come that looks backwards? I love General Patton's saying, if everybody in the room is thinking the same, then somebody is not thinking. And so I'm going to stick with that because I want to think outside the box. I want to think different than Tammy. I want to think different than everybody in chat. So here's my major concern. And at the same time, I think that maybe there's a fire lit under Trump's ass. And so with that being said, if Trump is reading, if he's reading like the letters and he's paying attention to people being pissed off about how things aren't happening quick enough or not happening at all, or people aren't being arrested, that is one thing that I will give Trump kudos to. He seems to pay attention to what we want, and he's not just somebody who blindly just says, oh, screw you guys, I'm going to do whatever. That's the one good thing about Trump I do enjoy. So with that being said, if he's paying attention to these letters that have been sent, if he's paying attention to what we're saying, if he's paying attention to, his base being pissed off, then maybe that lights a fire under his ass. And he says, you know what, I have to deliver on the promises that I made to be reelected this third term. And so maybe he's going to go after people. Maybe he's going to kickstart Pam Bondi. But here is my major concern. Midterms are right around the corner, and I don't want to be fed the carrot. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be manipulated. And I surely don't want them to tell us this so that people will rush out to the polls again and vote for them. And then here we are 18 months from today going, what the hell just happened? We all voted for them and not a damn thing's happened. So it's two sides of the coin, Tammy. On one side, I feel like, yes, absolutely. Maybe there's a fire started finally and something's going to happen. But I'm going to hold these guys accountable. I don't give a shit if it's Trump. I don't give a shit if it's Pam Bondi. I don't give a shit if it's Kash Patel, JD Vance, or whoever. I am not going to blindly stand by and turn my head and say, oh, well, we'll wait till next 4th of July, or we'll wait till the next 4th of July, or we'll wait till the next 4th of July. If shit does not happen, people don't get indicted, incarcerated, day in court, and the end game, I'm going to hold these guys accountable. And I'm sorry, but I do not trust Pam Bondi. I don't trust Kash Patel. And Trump is starting to climb up my list. Like, if we don't start seeing things happen, it's just all bullshit. And I'm going to stay in that camp because I don't want to put out information and tell people, yeah, it's just a movie, keep watching. And then here we go. 4th of July comes and goes and nothing happens. And then the end of the year comes and nothing happens. And then the next goalpost is the next 4th of July. Like, I'm tired of that nonsense and I won't continue to play that game. So there's two faces here. Are we going to start seeing something happen because people are pissed off, or are we going to just be fed the carrot and they're going to try to suffice us and move the goalpost yet again? So I don't know. That's just kind of my perspective, Tammy. People can take it, like it, hate it. I don't care. But I got to stay in reality and what I'm seeing. And I know that we got to walk in faith. Believe me, I walk in faith every day. But when's enough going to be enough? And so I don't know. Pam Bondi, Not a big fan of Pam Bondi. I'm
Uh-uh.
not a big fan of Cash Patel right now. I just
Nope.
I'm not. I don't think anything's really happening there. But with that being said, and I just pissed everybody off because I'm thinking different than everyone else. What Jeff told me today, what he wants to bring to the show if he shows up tonight, and if he doesn't, I'll share it with you at the end of the show. It's a little bit different than what I just said.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to let you know that, Ed Martin, because people, if they didn't know, he targeted medical journals. He's challenging them on what they have to say. He's been investigating Democrats, like I said. He said that we will defend you. He wants DC to be safe again. He also was a Doge enforcer. He did a lot with Doge. Basically, he said, we're not going to be like the previous administration and look the other way with Antifa and the BLM rioters. Then he also fought for the J6ers. So he has been doing a lot of good work, and he has, I think, proven himself. And to me, it's that little list I read you guys is even more than Cash Patel. I know they're working on the legals. I know that they're breaking up the sex trafficking rings. I get that. But man, they fumbled the Epstein files. Man, they're fumbling everything else. You can only talk the talk for so long. If you don't walk the walk, there's nothing being fed to us. And every single one of these people that are in the House, in Congress and Senate, and on this administration and in governments, they know how fed up we are. They know. So nobody seems to be helping us get more information. All this secrecy, who are you keeping it secret from? Because the bad guys already know you're coming after them. And we good guys want to know how many of them are taken down. So why at this point do you guys think there's all this secrecy? Whether it's LW, you have an opinion on it, or you in the audience, what is your justification for this secrecy still carrying on 6 years later? There were all these dates that were pushed constantly, and nothing ever happened with those dates. Now, we are obviously still trying
that's because some of the comments are still that people still need to wake up. And I'm sorry. I love you guys. Thank you for the comments. Keep putting your comments in there, whether I agree or disagree with your comments. That's okay. This is a healthy place to put your own opinions out there. But the whole comment about people still need to wake up, are you shitting me? I'm sorry, but are you shitting me? We have been through this for a long time, for years. If people are not awake yet, I'm telling you right now, they're never going to frickin' wake up. It's not going to happen. There are going to be haters on both sides. Does not matter what we do. It's just not going to change. So my question to you, everybody listening tonight, I want to see your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Do you guys believe that we're going to see any of this stuff happen? Because some of you feel that way, that it will happen, and some of you don't feel that way. And I like to see all the comments on that. For me, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I definitely think that there's still time, and I think that things can happen. At what level, I don't know. But I really think that if we don't, here's where I'm at, Tammy. If the American people, if we don't shout loud and want to hold our elected officials, including Donald J. Trump, accountable, if we just turn our head and say, oh, just watch it, it's going to all happen, I think we're doing a disservice to this country and to ourselves and to our family and to our kids. We have to be hollering and saying, hey, listen, that you told us that this shit was going to happen. It's not happening. We have to be loud. We have to be saying, listen, you told us this, it has to happen. And that's the only way that anything is ever going to get done. And we cannot be quiet. Nobody in this chat, nobody watching this channel, we can't be quiet any longer because it's just wrong, in my opinion. Go ahead, Tammy.
I do think it's wrong. And there's a good comment here. What happened? This person, Liberty Lovin, said, what happened to the This will be the best Christmas every year. Same thing. That's true. The President Trump did say that this is going to be the best Christmas ever. I don't know about you, but Yeah, I didn't see any big deal, big thing happening, nothing. So I know that it is on both sides. I know that there's a lot of people that talk about shadow governments, and even the FBI. Supposedly, Bongino said there's two working FBIs. One's good, one's not. But come on, like,
That
so
I believe.
yes.
That I do believe, Tammy. I believe that there are two FBIs. I think that there are police departments in this country that have two different police departments. I think there's some shady sons of bitches out there that work for police departments, just like I think there's some really bad people that work for the FBI. But then I think there's some really good people that work for the FBI, and they are really out there trying hard to give us justice. Just like I think there's police departments where there's good officers there too, trying to do the best they can. So when you talk about two shadow governments and two different governments, I believe that there's a line there. I believe that there are people in the government that really are trying to do their best. And then I think, obviously, on the other side of that coin, there's some horrible sons of bitches out there trying to do anything they can to screw us all over. And that's what we're talking about. We have to hold people accountable. And I don't even know how, other than us talking about it and voting, which to me, voting, does your vote really count? Are they still hiding shit? Are they still screwing us on the whole voting thing? So, I mean, there's so much corruption. It's a monster, and we're taking on a monster. And without God's help, there is no winning this battle for sure.
Well, everybody talks about the midterms. We talked about this before. Yes, it is important to vote. We've been told it's important to vote. However, nothing's changed about the voting. We've talked about this before. Not in all the places. There's working.
I disagree with that. There has been some changes on the voting. They're pushing really hard in all 50 states for voter ID. I think all of us should be screaming that from the rooftop, from the mountaintops. We demand. We don't want, we demand voter ID. So in some states that has been changing, and there has been some laws that have been drafted, voted on, and governors have put it into law in their states for voting. But is it enough? And it's so huge. It's hard. Like Donald Trump says, huge. It's so huge. It's just a lot to cover. And don't get me wrong, I give Donald Trump grace. I give other people grace. Like, this is a Mount Everest of shit that they have to try to climb up and fix all within 4 years. Like, just do the math on that alone. And a lot of things that Donald Trump has to fix, it's almost physically impossible for this man to fix everything that needs to be fixed in this country in 4 years. Do I believe he's anointed by God? Sure, he has to be, because, Tammy, is there any person in this country that outworks Donald Trump, in your opinion?
No, never. And I've always said that about that man. The energy that he has, the stamina, the dedication he has is unmatched. He's the best thing ever. I'm not blaming it on him. I'm saying the administration. He is talking about breaking the filibuster up over and over again. They aren't listening. He can only do so much. That's why I just wish he could pull all the presidential powers and use them. He's being very patient. But also with the voting, I think if you're saying, well, are they pacifying us? How about the voting in some of the states they supposedly passed it? Is that just enough to pacify us? It still doesn't affect the machines, LW. The machines being used are still corrupt. So whether you have voter ID or not, until we decide no machines and it's paper ballots, we're still screwed. That's the way I feel. If we don't even have the deep state taken care of yet. We're saying, it takes time, and there's still a lot of people out there that are crooked. We're in a whole heap of trouble coming midterms then, aren't we? Because really, there's a lot going against us. There's not more than it's been fixed, more than been taken care of.
Well, let me ask everybody. I'm trying to keep up with your comments, good or bad, whether I agree, disagree. Thank you for your comments. Continue to comment. Love it. Here's my question. I think that this should have been something that has been done federally for decades. Now, the clown that was in office, prior to Donald Trump, 2020 to 2024, made this this holiday, and I guess I want to be careful. I'm not a big fan of it, but Juneteenth, right? They made a federal holiday for Juneteenth. Do you guys believe that we should have a federal holiday for elections? Because I'm going to raise my hand and say yes. I believe that we should have a federal holiday for elections to where nobody works that day. That is a federal day off, and that we should all go to the polls on that day, and that all of the votes should be counted within a reasonable amount of time. They should be all paper ballots. You should have to show photo ID to vote. You should have to be a legal American citizen to vote. And that's what I believe. And I believe that would cure a lot of our problems. So what do you, the viewer, the listener, what do you guys believe that should happen? Do you agree with me? Do you think there should be a federal holiday? I mean, let's get rid of Juneteenth and let's make a federal holiday for voting every 2 years. That's just my opinion. I think that would cure a lot of things. I think a lot of us go to work on election day, and then we're trying to figure out, well, what time do I need to get off to go hit the polls? And the polls close at 6:00. And if I don't get off at this time, there's no use of me going to the poll. I mean, I think it's outrageous that we work on that day. That is our civil duty. That is our right to vote. And that should be a day that nobody has to work that day, so that we can get that done and clean up these elections. So that's my first question. Part 2 to that question: do you guys believe that using machines, one slows the process down? Because we've already seen that. We've seen that it takes a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months before they finally count the votes. Do you guys believe that the machines slow the process down, and or there's funny business going on with the machines? Florida just proved to us in the 2024 election, Tammy, they had over, what was it? I probably got my numbers wrong, but I want to say it was somewhere around 6 million votes, Tammy. They counted, they were paper ballots. They counted them all by hand. And guess what happened? They had them done in a reasonable amount of time. And we knew who won the great state of Florida. And they didn't have any frickin' machines to help them. I think it's nonsense. I think it's funny business. And I don't agree with machines at all. Do you guys agree with machines? Do you guys believe that we should just do paper ballots? Because I think if we had if we had a national holiday for voting, we had paper ballots, and we had photo ID for voting. I'm not saying that would be the perfect system, but I think it would clean up a lot of bullshit. Your thoughts, Tammy?
I think it should have been done that way from the beginning and stayed that way, because all the other stuff that's added and changed and all this machines and everything else, the mail-in ballots, all it does is leave room for fraud, corruption, and false elections, which is what we've been having all over the place. We've been seeing.
Okay, let me ask this question. And listen, I'm not going to single you out. I'm not going to pick on you. I'm not even going to put your comment on the screen. But is there anyone here listening tonight, or if you even want to drop me a comment on YouTube or wherever later, is there anyone here tonight that believes that we should be using machines? I'm just curious. Again, I'm not going to pick on you. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to single you out. I'm not going to call you names or do any of that shit. I'm only curious. Is there, out of the 500 people watching us tonight, is there anybody out there that believes that we should use machines? And if so, why? I'd just like to know why you feel like we should use machines.
Well, in California, they couldn't even ask for your ID. Wasn't it California? That wasn't allowed. That's the most ridiculous bullshit ever. And now we see how many illegals are here and why they're here. See, as we're breaking this apart, There's so many layers of it with the corruption. It isn't just one state. It isn't just federal level. It's local level. And it's from all these, what we're seeing in Minneapolis has exploited. We're seeing in all these different states with the voting. It is about elections. We keep saying, how can people be so stupid to vote the same people in they don't want, like Pelosi and them? Guess what? They're not voting them in. It's the corruption keeping them in. So granted, all that's being exposed. It's taking time, but we have to have a change. I don't think we can have midterms with the and have it legit with the way things are. Not enough has changed to make me feel confident. And there's people in chat saying they're done. They're not voting anymore. They're over it. So how does Trump get the base back to be encouraged? He keeps saying it's important. He's out there doing rallies again for people.
He's campaigning again.
Yes.
And this comment here, the hanging Chads.
Yes.
And I'm not putting that out there to make fun of anybody, but that was a thing in 2000. George W. Bush versus Al Gore, right? There was the hanging Chad. It went to court, took months and months and months and months. And so, yes, there is. I agree with that comment. There is obviously problems with paper ballots too. And instead of maybe doing the little punch frickin' Chad thing, maybe it's a write-in thing, or just X marks the box, for crying out loud. Like, is it? I mean, it's 2026. We supposedly landed a man on the moon.
Long time ago.
Allegedly, we landed a man on the moon and all the stuff. So if we could do that, we got cell phones and all the other shit, and the internet and AI. Don't you think that we could create some type of paper system that was easily identified and made sense and wasn't a frickin' hanging Chad bullshit and story?
Just like they do with our paper money. Why can't they have some kind of thing like they do with our dollar bills or $20 bills or whatever? In the store, if they put that marker on there, and if it does a certain thing, they know it's fake. It's, this is the problem. You always want to believe, and you're told that there's more good people than bad people, but it's hard to really believe that when you see all the chaos and corruption that has come from years and years of corruption, and of how much they actually hate you and I. They don't like us. They like the illegals. They like the people that can be bought, sold, and paid for, that want to live off government food and the SNAP. And I'm not knocking it. I've had it in my life too. My family's need it. I'm talking about people that don't need it, don't want to work, are lazy and take advantage of it, or the illegals that don't deserve it because our people need it. They want those people, because those people, you can say, I'm going to drop you $1,000 check, and that's a lot of money, and then they'll vote for you. Why do you think the Democrats do that all the time? Every time an election season comes around, they start talking about, we have to protect those people. We have to take care of the black people. We have to take care of this. It's all bullshit. It's bullshit. And people have short-term memory or something, because they do it every election season, and the people still buy it up and suck it up. And I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
I think we hit some very hot topics tonight. And I'm just trying to get people to think. That's all. I'm not agreeing that we landed on the moon. I'm not disagreeing that we landed on the moon, but I think it's very suspicious, to say the least, with the technology that was available back then. And I've had a gentleman on here, and I cannot remember his name. He came on the show years ago to talk about the communications from the moon, and I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. There's people out there that still believe that happened, and that's all good, man. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't even born yet. Tammy was definitely, what, were you like 30 or 40 years old when people landed on the moon, Tammy?
No, and I have video saved, and I want to do a show on that, LW, because there's a lot more to it. And you mean to tell me you can talk from the White House on a freaking old phone with a cord to the people in the moon, right? But you go through the mountains and you're talking to me, and we get disconnected all
Correct.
these years later. What the hell is that about? So people, it's like you got to think. I mean, we'll do that again eventually. We'll do that eventually. We really will. The other thing, do you want? Are you ready to move on to something else
Yeah,
now?
let's move on. I think everybody. I think we beat that horse enough. We'll move on and just check your email, and we'll definitely move on. And I think there's definitely greener pastures for other topics. So it's all
So
you, Tammy
giddy
Jo.
up, giddy up. Okay, here we go. First of all, we got to say thank you to Patriot Girl who bought us 3 coffees. Love you all. Love what you do. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Patriot Girl. You're awesome. And
Yeah, and that puts us at 110.
There we
That puts
go.
us at $110 now for our March giveaway for the Z Grill. So thank you, Patriot Girl, for that. Appreciate it. Again, all this money is going toward the Z Grill and to our War Machine. So as soon as we hit that goal, I'll let you guys know. I'll get that Z Grill ordered. And I'm not even sure what to do with that, Tammy. I might just wait and order it when somebody wins it, and that way I can ship it straight to their house. But
Yeah.
it's we're gonna have a fun time doing this stuff. So really appreciate it. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to talk about how, all these protests against ICE have been going on and they're shutting ICE out of Minneapolis. However, today, maybe people didn't realize this, but it was a American nationwide walkout that was organized by the Women's March Group against ICE for local high schools. In my local high school here had a few students that did indeed walk out to protest ICE, waving their signs and such. These are high school kids. Once again,
pause. Time out. I have to stop you for a minute, Tammy, because I seen so many really cool comments, and I again, go ahead and drop a comment. I'm trying to get to the comments on YouTube and stuff even after the show. So if you guys want to drop a comment, I try to go in there, give it a thumbs up and a heart, whether I agree with it, disagree with it. I just love the fact that you guys are getting involved. And we're asking questions and you guys are answering them. So here's a really cool comment. Why go back for the moon dirt? So here's my question. And then Tammy, go ahead. My question is, either side, don't care. I would love to see how many of you believe that we made it to the moon. So you can put in there, no, we didn't make it to the moon. Write any comment you want. And how many of you think that we really did make it to the moon? Maybe Jason, that comment, maybe he believes or they believe that we made it to the moon, and maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I don't know. Would just like to see how many of you actually think that we made it to the moon. And is there anybody in here that thinks that we did make it to the moon? Because I'd love to see those comments. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. If you are going to say yes, if there's any kind of explanation in there, I would love to see it because I find this stuff fascinating. It's just thank you guys for all the comments. So everything's blown up. Go ahead, Tammy. Go ahead.
Go ahead. That's a whole nother show because you're going to get me want to start talking about stuff that I have that's in memory about this. But we got to move on to this because I like the moon stuff too. Then
I love the moon stuff.
We could go to flat Earth. We can go to your favorite.
You're getting ready to open a whole can of worms, Tammy.
Yep. Okay, so the protests now, whether you think they were successful or not, this is what bothered me a whole hell of a lot. So it was nationwide with high school students, and like I said, it was organized by the Women's March Group. Some of these signs that these kids in my area said, you want to know what else is legal? Kidnapping and murder. Another sign read from a student, abolish ICE, stop racially targeting victims. We, the people, are in a civil war with ICE. This really fries my arse because these are our youth again. And then one of the signs said they deserve due process. These kids don't even know what they're talking about because they said, one of them said, I don't even care if they're illegal. They deserve due process. I don't care if they're illegal here. Well, yes, the first crime committed is being here illegally, young one. So stop believing your teachers, whoever telling you that it's fine for them to be here and they deserve due process. When they're here legally, they don't. And it's once again, another strain on our youth again. They're coming at our youth like they've been doing for a few years now. And it's really pissed me off to see these kids holding up these signs. Now, if you say, oh, they're being paid by Soros, because I talked about that there's a group out there. I forget what the name of the group is. I put it in chat on my last show with you, and they're being paid by Soros to actually go out and protest and do this stuff. That's fine. But it's still these kids in their mind think that they are doing something good and getting paid for it, and not realizing that they're just slicing their own, you know what. So I was just really upset about seeing that, and this whole thing against ICE. And if you look at the facts, and with what happened with that lady, that woman, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. She brought that got unalived. She shouldn't have been breaking through and doing what she did. It was an intentional, and her wife was saying, drive, baby, drive. That's not saying, stop, baby, stop. Put your hands up, baby, put your hands up. So I'm just so sick of the twisting and turning against people like ICE and the police that are trying to do the right thing and keep the knotheads, even the numbskulls, safe. You're going to get bad people that make mistakes every now and again, or you're just going to get somebody that makes a mistake because they have split seconds to make a decision. So you cannot hold them up on a pedestal as they're perfect people. But if you're saying their intention is to go into these cities and hurt regular people, that's a bunch of crap. And I'm just sick of these people that are public representatives and parents that are encouraging their kids to do this. And it just really infuriated me again, because we fought so hard with the trans stuff, and all the young kids being involved in these bars and these bingo dances in these bars that happened this summer, and throwing money at the strippers, trans strippers in the bars. And now here we are having this
for years, Tammy, years.
Yeah, but it really set me off, and I was really mad to find out it was a school not in my town but in the town next over, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh man, I love all the comments tonight. Thank you guys so much. I'm seeing new names in chat. So if you're new here, if you'll just drop a comment in chat and say, hey, first time here, or new here, or first time I've ever commented. We have the best mods in the business. I love these people. They're so great, and they will definitely show you some love tonight and say, hey, welcome to LWN. To your comment, Tammy, no disrespect to anybody who's white and maybe a little bit overweight. I know I am. I'm a fat guy. And so I made a comment on my Facebook page today that ties into what you're saying, Tammy. Like, why are white fat people trying to stop ICE? Like, what is the deal with this virtue signaling and this nonsense of I'm white and these people are somehow being wronged, and I got to go out there and be their freaking Calvary savior, Superman, knight in shining armor? Why don't you stay your ass at home and let ICE do their job? Because yes, they are being attacked. They have been tried to be ran over and all the things. So here's my question to chat tonight. There are so many people watching us live tonight. The number bounces from 500 to 410, and that can't even be correct. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I know YouTube and Rumble and all we got shut down from Facebook tonight, just so you know, Tammy. I got a message that said Facebook was having some kind of hard time connecting. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. And thank you for all the comments. And if you're new, please put in there, hey, I'm new. But here's my question to you guys. Do you guys believe that ICE is doing the right thing? Do you believe that we should be removing illegal people from this country and sending them home? Or do you believe that they should stay, that they should have equal rights to us, the United States citizen? I've seen some of the comments in there. I think they're great comments. But do you think that ICE is in danger? and it's okay. I mean, you can go ahead and comment and say, yeah, I think we should pause ICE, or ICE shouldn't be doing this, or these poor people are being picked on and accosted. Okay, that's fine. But when is enough going to be enough? How is it? I see in a comment, like, what's the point of being a United States citizen if we don't have any more rights than an illegal crossing the border? So here's my opinion on the matter. Whether you like it, you don't like it, I will share Jeff B's message. I'm going to give him a few more minutes. If he doesn't roll in, I'll share it here within the next 15 to 20. We're going to go 90 minutes tonight, so I'll share it before the end of tonight. I don't believe. Okay, now I've done some research on migration, and migration in this country, Tammy, is an absolute shit show. Now, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to piss some people off. It's not necessarily the people coming here illegally or are coming to this country. It's not necessarily their fault. If you go all the way back to the 50s, the 60s, and even the 80s, if you do your research, you'll find out there's reasons why migration, why people came to this country, why they came here to take jobs and work. And then things changed in 2000, 2001, and it fucked everything up. And now people are coming here, in my opinion, for the wrong reasons. And we had an administration just a couple of years ago that, as soon as they took office, opened the border wide open and just said, hey, come on in here. And I disagree with that. Now, I agree with legal migration. I agree with people even coming here and getting a green card and working the jobs that they come here for. I agree with that, because it used to be they would come here, work those jobs, and go home, Tammy. But with legislation and policies, it changed a lot of shit, and then people just stayed. So it's a total mess. It's a total wreck. And I think the people, especially the ones coming here with felonies and they're wanted, and they got a long list of shit. Those people should be removed from this country. The people that are harming United States citizens and even any people here in the United States, they should be removed. But there are a lot of good people that are here. And I think over time, they've kind of been screwed through policies and all the other shit. So I think that we need reform in our immigration policies. And I think we need to do right by the good people that are here and figure out a way that they, get due process and can stay. And for the ones that are here illegally and here with ill intent, they should be removed immediately. And we need to shut the border down and change things here in America and make it worth being a United States citizen, and make it worth actually wanting to come here the right way. That's just my thought.
I'm going to say this is it's very easy. If you do anything that's illegal, your ass should have to pay for it. Get them out. I don't have sympathy for that. When we've seen now how our government and our politicians have used the border to get what they want, and at the cost of we, the American citizens, and how many American citizens have lost family members due to criminals that have harmed them. How many people in the American citizens have lost jobs. It goes on and on. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. And it's nothing but a game from politicians to leave the borders open. And then remember, they showed all the illegals in cages and crates, and they're horrible in the treatment, blah, blah, blah. They always focus on the emotion and the drama of it all. Those people, a lot of people, every single one of them that come here illegally, I'm sorry that you want to be here so bad you're willing to do it illegally, and maybe you're an up and upstanding citizen, but you're still committing a crime doing it illegally. You have no right to put that kind of pressure on our economy, our people, and everything else. Plain and simple. We have a policy and a way for you to get here legally. I have no problem with people coming here legally either. But the problem is our politicians in our own government have screwed us for so many years and just flip-flopped all these different emotional traumas on us about you're bad if you say this. They've got our young kids thinking that we are criminal for wanting illegals out, these young high schoolers and such. And that's what I can't stand. And mind you, with ICE, people talking about ICE, even these young kids, you know, Kristi Noem just came out and said that Governor Walz and Mayor Frey have released over 490 murderers, rapists, and drug traffickers on their streets rather than turn them over to ICE. So all of you that think ICE are bad, do you want those 490 people in your town? Who's going to take them out? See, because they don't take them out. Corrupt governments that in sanctuary cities keep them there, and then they pay them to do their bidding on whatever they need them to do. It isn't a fair and legal system to start with. So that's what really pisses me off. And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's it. Okay. Shut up.
No, you don't have to shut up, Tammy. I'm going to ask a question. Read your emails. Okay. And again, I'm seeing all kinds of new comments in chat. I appreciate it. You can hate us, you can love us. I don't care. Here's a really hard question, because I think I'm going to get a little bit of both sides on this, and it's going to piss some people off. But here, we're not picking on anybody in chat. Everybody has the right to their own opinion. Do you agree? It's a two-part question. Do you agree with the current administration's immigration policy? That's question one. Question part two to that question: if you disagree with the current administration's policy, because I saw a comment in there, should they be removed? If you dislike the policy, you dislike the person in the White House, should they be removed because of that policy, just because of immigration alone? Because I'm curious. Me personally, I appreciate the fact that we have somebody willing to stand up for the American citizen and not allow our country to be overran by illegal people coming here. And that's just what I believe. So I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the policies are good? Do you think the policies are bad? And if the policies are bad, then should that person be removed? Because it's his policy. He's the one that ran on that. He ran on it for multiple times now. Should it be America first, or should it be something completely different? Go ahead, Tammy. I'll make sure you read your emails.
I think it definitely should be America first. I mean, why is that even a thought? Like, I'm so sick of this seriously, it is so stupid. And you guys have to look to the people that are leading in the government of some of these cities, especially in Minneapolis, who's in Minnesota, making the example, because Ilhan Omar is under federal investigation. So you've got the mayor in trouble. His wife supposedly is tied to the $250 million child care thing that she took some money from, allegedly. You've got Walz in trouble. You've got Ilhan Omar, who's a representative, in trouble. She made millions while in Congress, and now they're at $30 million in just 1 year, and they're saying she married her brother. So it's a lot deeper than just the illegals coming in. You got to look at all these different, that's 3 heads in that state, leaders that were elected, that are all in trouble for stealing money, not their money from illegals. They don't have money. It's your money, your tax dollars that they're stealing. So yes, America first, always, forever. And we've not been first for a very long time. Let's see.
I agree with that, Tammy. I totally agree with that.
White Devil, thank you so much. They bought us 3 coffees. Cue the storm. Watch out for exploding trees. I need explanation.
Watch out for exploding trees. Okay. There's Lily J. Good to see you tonight, Lily J.
Lily.
Yeah, so we're up to 140 right now. We're getting closer and closer every show to our March giveaway for the Z Grill. Plus, we already ordered the silver. We already purchased $500 worth of silver. So the silver coins should be showing up with Tammy any day. She'll report back to us as soon as she gets them. And so we're doing our March giveaway, which is basically what we did is once a quarter is the giveaway that we're going to do. So thank you guys for the donations. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the comments. Even had one that said I'm an idiot. So appreciate that.
I think one was.
I appreciate that too. Hey, I'm just an idiot. I'm just a guy. I'm just trying to figure shit out like everyone else, and I have my own opinion. You have your opinion, and I can appreciate that. So
I think somebody was talking about
the comment.
Yeah, thank you, because I think somebody was talking about me like that. They said I'd rather have the illegals here than you, lady. Touche, touche
Okay.
to you.
Right. Well, if you would rather, here's the deal. If you would rather have the illegals here than us, please email me and send me your address. Because what I would like to do is reach out to some of the ICE officers and send some of those folks to your house. You need to house them. Let them stay with you for a while. You got a spare bedroom, garage, shed. I don't give a shit. Let them set up a tent in your backyard. And I really think that you should allow those people to come to your house. I don't care if you got young teenage daughters. I don't care if you got young kids in the house, whatever. Grandma lives with you. Your mom lives with you. You should have to house those people for a while and then come back to me after a month or two of that. And let's see if that comment is the same after that.
And I want to reply to a comment too that was saying that I don't think the policy is necessary, incorrect if it were actually working that way, but we have ICE agents that are injuring, taking the lives of American citizens while enacting that policy. Guess what? If that's happening, that's horrible and unfortunate. But if the freaking representatives wouldn't have shipped them in, Soros, or let them in and open borders, we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. So don't be mad at the ICE agents who are trying to take care of it. Be mad at your representatives that allowed it to happen. Give them a piece of your mind, or your government officials. Why don't you give Biden a letter and say, hey, Biden, thanks a lot for the open borders, because now the ICE agents apparently are hurting American citizens. That's an assumption. We don't know that for sure. And there are going to be accidents, but if they are there in the middle of what ICE is trying to do, there's going to be consequences. Actions have consequences. And I'm unfortunately sorry that there's going to be maybe some innocent people here and there that are hurt. But you know, in war, that's the way it is. And if ICE was in my area, get the hell away. I'm not going anywhere near it. And also thanks to Rhonda Marchini, who brought us 3 coffees. She said, hey guys, thank you for taking, hey guys, thank you. And Tammy, thanks for taking care of that for me. You're welcome, honey. Love you all, praying for all of you. Thank you so much, Rhonda. We appreciate you. But
Yes,
you know, and I'm a little bit just ruffled tonight because I'm so tired of people blaming the after fact of trying to do the cleanup of what these idiot policy people that are in government and control are doing in these cities. If they wouldn't have done what they're doing in the cities, we wouldn't be in this position. So we have to go back to the beginning, where it went wrong in the first place. Because I don't see us going up to and remember this, they were also told you're free to leave, get out, and we're going to give you money and a free flight out of here. Mm-hmm. So their asses would get a free ride home wherever they want to go and money. And they chose not to do it. They chose to illegally stay here and screw us and say, I'm not leaving, I'm staying here. So their asses are going to be in trouble, period.
Well, again, I see comments in here on both sides of the issue. And I appreciate that.
Definitely.
I mean, you guys have a right to your own opinion. Some people are calling ICE the same as Nazis. And they have a right to that opinion. I'm not here to kick them out or block them. So mods, please don't do that. I want to see everybody's comment because I want to know where everybody's coming from. And Tammy, this is a hot button topic for sure tonight. We've had a couple of them. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover before we get toward the end here? And I'll share what Jeff was telling me earlier today.
Just one little thing that came out. There's a book that's coming out, but Breitbart just put this on here, and it's basically stating that thousands of Chinese pilots have been training every year in California and Arizona, strengthening the CCP's military power. So basically Peter Schweitzer, who is a Breitbart News senior contributor, wrote this book. And it's about how the Chinese Communist Party is using our openness and generosity against us by sending thousands of future military pilots posing as civilians to the US to learn how to fly. So the reason I bring that up, because that's another way we are taking it in the rear end by being kind and generous and offering our space and allowing them to do that. And they turn around and apparently are using it against us. We're training the Chinese CCP people to fly and be able to attack on our own soil. And to me, that's kind of not headed. What the hell is wrong with us for doing that? And not only that, selling all our land to China as well. So all this stuff basically ties in together, is what I'm saying, how the corrupt people, business people, corporations, whoever it is, make money hand over fist at the sacrifice of us losing our land, threat to our country if the Chinese are training like that. It just goes on. And it's about time we just have that dome over us and say everybody out and clean up our own backyard and then take it from there, start over.
Well, I'm trying to get to everybody's comments. I'm not picking, just so you know, I am not picking and choosing comments. Even if I disagree with your comment, like one of the comments was MAGA's a cult. I try to get to all the comments. It's just so many of them right now, and I'm trying to keep up with the show. So, want to apologize for any of the comments I'm missing, but I can't get them all. Tammy, as far as China and a dome over us, I think every country on the globe is always that country first, and it's. I mean, you can't go to China, you can't go to Russia, you can't go to India, you can't go anywhere where it's not their nation first. And for people to have some kind of delusional thought that America should not put America first, move to one of those other countries and live there for a while. It's kind of like putting illegals in your backyard or in your spare bedroom. Like, try it for a while, come back to America, and then make a comment for me, because honestly, we should be America first. We should clean up our backyard first. And then when our citizens are taken care of, when our taxes are where they're supposed to be, when we're not slaves to the system, then I feel like that gives us the opportunity to help our neighbor. But at no time should we be sending our tax dollars overseas and keeping us enslaved in the tax system. It's just wrong. It's not America first. And I don't believe that MAGA is a cult. I believe that there's definitely people that can be brainwashed into certain things. I definitely believe that people on the left is definitely brainwashed into certain things. So, we're just a couple of people here trying to figure shit out. And it's just it's an awful thing to have to sit here and watch the erosion of the morals and values of America, and we're giving it up so freely. A lot of people will give up a little bit of their freedom for a little bit of security. We saw that happen in 2020 during the COVID hoax. Uh-oh, Tammy. You're muted. Why'd you mute yourself?
You did it.
I didn't touch anything.
My hands didn't touch anything either. Maybe there's somebody in there muting me behind the scenes. But I was going to say, and you have to remember, when you have representatives that you elect, like Ted Cruz, who said he's here for Israel, even though he's supposed to be taking care of his people. And then you've got Lindsey Graham, who just went to see Benjamin Netanyahu to play kiss face with him. I'm not saying that stuff shouldn't happen, but that shouldn't be their priority when there's so much to be done here. We are the people that pay their salaries. You know what I mean? So I'm just over the people that are supposedly elected, worrying about everybody else besides the American citizen. Like I said, there's so many of them that don't like us.
Amen. All right, Tammy. Well, is there anything else that you want to share before I share with Jeff share with me this afternoon and let everybody know. I know there's certain people waiting to hear what he had to share with us, and I'm going to
I
put
want
that
to
out
know.
there
I want
shortly.
to know too, and I'm going to agree with this person. TDK can't wait for the Sharia law to take over because they're not paying attention and don't believe it will happen. I know that's really something, isn't it?
Well, I feel sorry for um, I feel sorry for some of these people because I really don't think they have any clue what they're wishing on themselves and here in America. And like I said, instead of forcing the rest of us to swallow that fucking pill, maybe you should go to one of those countries and live there for a while and see how you enjoy it before you try to force it down the throat of the rest of us, and then come back and report to us how great was Sharia law, like how great was living in China, how great was living in some of these other countries. Then come back here and tell me that you would prefer that versus America, and then maybe you'll have something worth talking about. So read your comment there, Tammy.
Mhm.
I am going to change my little thing over here, and then I'll share what Jeff B had for us so that everybody knows.
Okay. I want to
Go ahead.
I want to say thanks to Tennessee Ridge Runner who bought us 10 coffees. That's amazing. Tennessee Ridge Runner, thank you. He says, keep up the good work. Love you all. Well, we love you too. Like I said, I love what LW said. We're just two people trying to get to the truth and figure things out with everybody else. We're just two normal people just trying to just be real, not have our head in the sand and not think we know everything. And you people in the audience making comments or that text LW or I, or just get a hold of us any way, shape, or form on shows. We are serious when we say we appreciate what you have to say, because that's what this country is all about, and we've lost that.
And you are correct. I have never lived in another country, but I sure have visited a couple of other countries. And there's some beautiful countries out there. But have you? And how great was it? So, no, I'm not sitting here on a pedestal saying that I've lived in all these other countries. I'm just saying if you want Sharia law, go live in Afghanistan. Go live in some of these other places. And we've got veterans that have served our country bravely and heroically, and they have been to some of these other countries. I've got buddies that come back, and some of those people are very nice, but their laws probably not the best for men and women. Hell, probably not best for people who like the other sex. So here is what Jeff B shared with me tonight, and we are now at we're at like 190. I think is what our number is right now. Tammy, it says
Okay.
140. But it's 190. So we're at 190 right now. I don't know if that thing updated. Let me change it. 190. So we're getting close to 200, which is awesome. I can't wait till March.
Right.
So I made that change. So Jeff messaged me. Actually, he called me earlier today and he said, "Hey, did you hear what Trump said when he was over there in what's the word? What's
Davos,
the name of that place? Huh?
The World Economic Forum.
Okay, so he basically told me that Trump had mentioned, and he had told Pam Bondi that it's time to take the gloves off and it's time to make shit happen. In layman's terms, in a nutshell, that Trump is going to be pushing to make indictments happen, and that's part of our title tonight. Is indictments being handed out by the DOJ. Now, where does that start? Does it start with the Clintons? Is it actually going to happen? I don't freaking know. And I'm not going to hold my breath. But it sounded like good news to me. I know one of the comments there in chat was, is there any good news tonight? Well, I can tell you, that is good news to me if it actually happens. Like if Donald Trump is going to actually light a fire under Pam Bondi's ass and say, hey, get moving on this shit. If they're going to hold the Clintons accountable, if they're going to go after some of these other criminals and corruption in the U.S. government, then yeah, it's great news. And I guess he said it on the world stage. He also, again, he brought up Pam Bondi's name and said that he was going to get her activated. And that's my word. That's not what Jeff used. That's not what Trump said. That's my word, activated. And if I see Pam Bondi actually activated and doing shit, then I'd be happy. So that's the best news I could tell you guys at the end of the show tonight. And we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not gonna take anything other than if Trump said it, then maybe it might happen. But he said a lot of things and they haven't come to fruition yet, right? Yet. So that does not mean that it won't. I just I take it with a grain of salt. I hope that helps some of you people. I hope that excites some of you people and maybe gives you some hope. And there's always hope. So it's good to see John H. in chat tonight, too. He says it's too late for Bondi. She's a loser. And I don't disagree with that. You're muted again, Tammy, and I didn't touch anything.
I don't like this, what's going on with this at all. Okay, so the other thing, what I had, one of the videos was actually Trump on the world stage, because one of the things he said was, I'm not going to take Greenland by power or wars like that. He wants to negotiate. So he backpedaled on that. But President Trump did say that prosecutions are also coming for the rigged 2020 election. He said people will soon be prosecuted for what they did. He goes, it's probably breaking news. He said, but it shouldn't be. He goes, it was a rigged election. Justice is coming. So that was another major statement that he made at the World Economic Forum. And I'll tell you, watch some of that. And the stuff that he was saying, basically, he went off too on the Green Deal and basically how windmills, he goes, you people want windmills and you buy people. And he goes, guess what? China sells them to you and only stupid people buy them. Because have you ever seen a windmill in China? He goes, China's smart because they make them, then they sell them to you, the stupid people. And he goes, it does nothing. And that was another clip that I thought was fire that I wanted to play tonight. But so he
did
right
say all that. He did say all that. I don't know what's going to become of it. We don't know if anything's going to happen, but that's the stuff that Jeff sent me tonight. It was already out there, but he called me and just said, hey, did you hear this? And did you see that? And I don't know. I find it interesting.
Well, I do too. And Trump tries to get it done, but these losers that are around him in Congress and the House and Senate and all that, they freaking don't do anything. They don't move the papers that for a year and a half or year and a month later. It's ridiculous. So he can only do, like I said, I wish he would take all his presidential powers that he possibly has to be able to just straighten all this stuff, just stop it, pull the insurrection act thing, do whatever he needs to do and just get this shit taken care of, because people are just kind of fed up and they're stressing out and they're losing hope. And I know God's in control, but you know what? He also tells us we need to do what we need to do. We don't sit back and wait for somebody to come save us, that we have minds, we have logic, and we are to do what we are pressed to do through Jesus and listening to him. So, I'm not saying violence and all that. People always go, oh, she's for violence. No, I'm not. I'm just tired of the crap. I'm tired of the word sausage and word salads and no action. And just like I think most of the country is.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a wrap for tonight, Tammy.
Well, it absolutely
I'll tell the mods this.
Yeah.
Everybody in chat can have their own opinions, as long as they're respectful. But if they start being a fucking asshole, you can boot them out. If I catch them, I'll boot them out myself. I don't care. But if you start calling us names and being disrespectful to my co-host or any of my mods or anybody like that, why are you even here? Get the fuck out of here. There we go. There's the son of a bitch right there. See you later.
Oh, I missed it.
You can go pound sand. So mods, you definitely can can get rid of anybody in there that's just being disrespectful. I that's the one thing that I won't put up with. You guys can call us crazy,
Yeah.
but just be respectful and put I'm giving you an opportunity to make any comment you want, even if it disagrees with me. But if you're going to be disrespectful, then just get rid of them, mods, because we don't need trash in the chat. And this is a place where people can come and feel safe, make a comment, even if it disagrees with my opinion or Tammy's opinion or any of my mods or anyone else in chat. I want you to have a different opinion. I love the fact that you have a different opinion. I don't care if you don't like Trump. You can say in chat, I don't like this guy and he should be impeached. That's fine. Just don't be an asshole. And you can stay as long as you want. You can make as many comments as you want. But you start calling us names and being super disrespectful, I'd just rather delete them, block them, get them out of here, mods. We got some wonderful people in here tonight. We've had wonderful people in here. I love all the different comments, and I encourage it. I don't think that any of us should be thinking the same. Again, General George Patton. If everybody in the room's thinking the same, then somebody's not thinking. And so I don't want that. I want all of us thinking differently and different opinions, different perspectives, different lenses, because I think that's how we grow. And maybe you bring something to the table we didn't think about. And I love if you can ask a question, make a comment. I'll try to bring it up. But don't be an asshole. I don't want nothing to do with assholes. So Tammy, what a wonderful night tonight. Thank you for producing the show. I know we couldn't play any of your videos, and that was kind of a late thing to me. We'll see if we get any kind of copyright after tonight. If we don't, then we know it's the videos that we've been playing. But if we do get a copyright tonight, then it might be the intro. So
yeah, we'll just figure it out.
We'll just have to work with War Machine and the other producers to see how do we remedy that. But what a wonderful night. Thank you guys for all the support and the prayers.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun time to be alive and to be able to have open conversation. And that's what LWN is. It's open conversation and the ability to bounce ideas off of each other, whether we agree, disagree. I like it when we don't agree. I like it when we don't all agree. Because I don't want an echo chamber here, but just don't be an asshole.
Amen to that. Or a whole ass. Some people
or a whole ass or ass.
Yeah, any of the above. Yeah. So it was great getting back in the seat doing a show. I love it, and it was great to see everybody again in chat. And thank you for everybody and all your nice words and stuff. And to my family and stuff, and all throughout the show, I saw a lot of you making nice comments. So I really appreciate it. We're hanging there, and like LW said, even though he's going away soon, I'll be here as much as I possibly can be. So I'm looking forward to it. And LW, if he has a chance to call in or something, we're going to have that work out too. Not guaranteeing it, but he may even text me and have something he wants to say that he wants me to say for him. Who knows, right?
Yep. Who knows? All right. Well, with that being said, God bless you guys. Love you all. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Wings.